All right. We're back. Episode 146, Morse Code Podcast, and more Soapy Pre-Up. I don't know where you want to start. General pleasantries?
Yeah. Happy
right.
Thanksgiving.
You too. How was your Thanksgiving? Any good?
Pretty good. Multiple turkeys showed up.
Anything to be thankful for that you could think of?
Yeah. Thankful for this show.
Wow. That's not a good sign. Yeah, I guess you're right. Did you do anything? Did you go home? Stay local?
I stayed local.
Go to Plymouth Rock? Okay, cool.
Yeah, boarded the Mayflower one final time.
Sick. Yeah. That's good. Good news. I forget if you asked or not, but mine was pretty good. Had some good food, saw some family, some friends, watched some terrible football, and
plates.
That's about it. Say that again.
Plates.
We use plates. Yeah.
Plates. All right.
Plenty of plates. Plates were plenty. But no, it's good to get into the holiday season. Got some Christmas decor in my house. I see you maybe as well. I don't really know. I'm assuming.
Hell yeah.
Do you have a tree up or anything?
I don't. I will soon.
Okay, cool. Good. Got some delicious hot cocoa here.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. As always, brought to you by Cold River Vodka, Spirit of Maine, at Cold River Vodka. Go support them. Go drink vodka heavily. And let us know what you think. If you're a first timer, leave a comment in the comment section.
Mm-hmm. Over or under age?
Oh, I couldn't care less. Yeah, for sure. Did you watch any football on Thanksgiving?
Yep.
All three of them.
Yeah, I did. They were surprisingly better than I thought.
Of each. They were. I watched like bits and pieces of each game. I just can't it's just the Lions, like the Detroit Lions playing every Thanksgiving and always being so bad. It's just, I feel like Roger Goodell must hate that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think the people who watch Thanksgiving football, they're going to at least have the game on. That's all he cares about. So I really don't think it would make a difference. Like the people who didn't have that game on, probably just in the background. I don't think if it was like Chiefs Warriors or something, it would get more those people to turn it on. If it was Chiefs Warriors, actually, I would definitely tune in. I'd be curious to see how that played out.
I'd be very curious.
Who do you think would have a better chance? Chiefs Warriors, like Chiefs playing basketball or Warriors playing football?
Oh,
against the other team's backups, like the Warriors starters playing football against the Chiefs backups.
Yep.
Or the Chiefs starters playing basketball against the Warriors backups.
Yeah, Chiefs starters playing basketball against the Warriors backups, because the Warriors starters would get tackled once and it would be over.
That's a good point. I
know they're wearing pads, but I don't think it would matter too much.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. However you kind of cut the cookie, I don't think Steph Curry matched up with the Chiefs backup offensive tackle. It's a matchup favoring the Golden State Warriors.
Steph just throwing 50-yard bombs and then looking away, not looking to see if it gets completed.
Yep, for sure. That'd be sick. Steph Curry would be a fun football player. He's a very fun basketball player.
Yeah, he's got the height to be a quarterback. 6'3", probably 200, 210 in the pocket. It's pretty much Lamar Jackson.
I was going to say, I wonder what the average height of NFL quarterbacks is. Probably about is 6'3", would you say is an average quarterback height? You said that's Lamar Jackson?
I would say that's probably close to Lamar Jackson.
I would say he's even on the taller side.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson. Haven't played this game in a while. Gun to your head, you would say he's 6'3"?
Oh, hey, since you're in the Christmas mood, gun to my head. Yeah, I would say he's 6'3".
Well, R.I.P. to you. 6'2". On Wikipedia.
He looks
Someone
lanky.
Could have gone in there.
Does it say his weight?
He is. I don't know. What would you guess his weight is? Even though it's
I'll say he's
rude to talk about someone's weight. I don't think it's listed here. Lamar Jackson. 212. Jesus Christ, that's tiny. He's smaller than me.
And that's probably around what Steph is.
Yeah, I'd say so. Warriors off to a very quiet, very good start.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've lost 2 games.
Yeah, people are saying it's good.
Warriors fans are saying it's great.
Yeah. If you do the math out, it's on pace for a total of 3 losses. I don't know how that makes sense, but
it doesn't. So
what I've read on the internet.
Yeah. Clay's coming back. I think Clay's one of those players. I think anytime a team's off to a good start and their good player comes back, like naturally they kind of like slump for a little bit to get back used to it. I think Clay's like the perfect player to come back because he could literally just catch and shoot at a high percentage and not have to worry about much else and probably play better defense than whoever the replacement is. So I think they're going to be really good. Suns too. I think Suns have won. Have they lost yet from their winning streak?
No.
I think they have 3 losses. Yeah, that's pretty good too. Sheesh.
I believe they're on a collision course. Is that tonight?
Oh, are they playing basketball tonight against one another?
I believe so.
I don't want to embarrass you on live television, but I don't see that on the schedule. Tomorrow, however, they are playing against each other.
Okay.
10 p.m. Warriors at Suns. Dude, that's sick. 18-2 versus 17-3 on TNT. Tipping off at 10 p.m., so I won't catch any of it, but that should be a pretty good game. That should be a pretty good game. All right, where do you want to start? What do you want to talk about? We got any Patriots takes, any Celtics takes before we get into anything else? I think one of those teams is good, and one like I'm honestly ready to like just throw in the towel and watch the Warriors or the Suns.
You didn't want to start off with the Texans Jets or Giants
we can
Eagles?
Get to that. I don't know if you wanted to like the way you like keep people listening is like tease the big stories for the end. You don't want to bury the lead, is what they call it. Joe Rogan taught me that.
All right. Well, yeah, let's start with the Pats because I actually want to like enjoy what we're talking about here for a little bit.
I'm down for that. I want to like enjoy my hot cocoa and not like splash it into my face talking about how Jason Tatum shooting 8% from anywhere, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. What do you got?
So let's see. Even though obviously good win, and even though they're
talking about the Titans game,
okay. Even though there are injuries to the Titans, that was mostly on their offense.
Yeah.
So I don't really
like literally all their good players were not able to play.
Yeah.
And only the bad ones were able to play. But go ahead. Go on.
Minor asterisk.
Yeah.
I mean, Titans still played them well in the first half. Like it looked like the type of team that like no matter who goes down, they're gonna come out and give you a tough time. But yeah, I thought Mac played well. I thought he had like one really terrible throw that's being really overblown. The missed touchdown to Hunter Henry, like the wide open one.
That one was bad. Yeah, that kind of stunk.
The one where he like turned to his left and basically like threw it into I don't know what was going to be a screen or something like that. I don't know. I feel like it just slipped out of his hand. It looks stupid as fuck, but the one where it just went straight into the ground.
Yeah.
And then
everybody throws those though. Like you'll get those once a game.
Yeah. And then there was the one where it probably would have been a pick six. Like that was probably the worst one to me.
That was just a bad decision.
Yeah. That was a mental error. Something you are familiar with.
For sure.
That was a mental error. The other two.
That's also a rookie decision. Like I think people forget he's still a rookie quarterback. That's a rookie throw. That's shit. Like my bad. They got lucky. But also at that point in time, if that was a pick six, where was that in the game? Was that when they were like? I feel like at most times in the game they were up like 13 or 16, or like 10 or 13. The score.
I know it was in the third quarter.
So that's when it was probably
and it was in the
like
red zone
19-6 or something. Yeah, true. Good point. But I think he played fine. I saw one thing today. I think he was like perfect on play action or rollouts. Always a good sign.
Shout out,
true sign of a good time. Yeah. Yeah, he's playing well. And again, it's like to your point, I know they kind of mentioned this to what little I listened to of sports radio today. Most of their injuries were on offense. So that really didn't have much to do with Mac. Mac was playing against for the most part, the Titans defense. I know they're missing a linebacker and whatever else. But he played well. And I think Mike Vrabel's a good enough coach, especially against Belichick, where that was a good defense he was facing.
Yeah, I mean, regardless
defense,
of,
and he played really well. Played pretty
he
well.
had his team ready to go regardless of, one side of his team basically missing and still at home.
Yeah, for sure. It's almost like that Chiefs-Warriors scenario we were talking about. Like, that's the Titans offense that the Warriors would play against and maybe win. Like I said, I don't know. What was I going to say? Yeah, I mean, I think I was impressed. I think, like I said, it's like at this point, I think he's earned the right to not need to be like grilled on a week-to-week basis. I think what we're seeing is what we get, and what we're getting is pretty good. Like, I'm comfortable with how he's playing quarterback, especially as a rookie, knowing there's a pretty good chance he could get better and better the next like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing. Like, we always compare it to last year. Last year, I didn't expect to score touchdowns at any time. Like, touchdowns were like, holy shit. Like, what was that?
Yeah. We just had to pray that we could get field goals.
And luckily for us, we have a really good kicker.
18-13.
Yeah. Our best player is probably Nick Folk. Yep. Nick Folk, Matthew Judon, and that's it. Everyone else. Mm-hmm. It is nice to starting to see it's been, I'd say, over the last few weeks. This is nice to see the offseason acquisitions playing well.
Yep.
Including Mac Jones. I know he was a draft pick, but Kendrick Bourne obviously had a huge game, but he's played solid throughout the year. Judon's a decoy candidate. Hunter Henry's a red zone machine. And even Janu Smith had a good game against his former employer. You always like to see that. A lot of players, you wouldn't know anything about this, but a lot of players like to get up for that game against their former team and really stick it to them.
I would love if that could be turned into a real world example.
I can't think of one, but
that
football.
I know. I'm saying I wish it could be. Like where you could stick it to your former employer.
Maybe like if you like went to like a rival company and like snatched all their clients.
That's true.
You don't have the brass or balls to ever do. I'm just pulling up the old box score here because I feel I want to say Janu Smith had a really good game, but I'm sure his stats.
It was three catches.
Yeah.
40-something yards, I think.
Better stat line than you know who.
Oh, yeah.
3 for 49.
Yep.
It's a good game. That's a good goddamn game.
Yeah, Max spread it around, if you know what I mean.
I don't think N'Keal Harry got a target. Like because like Stevenson is on the box score, 0 catches for 0 yards. I think you have to have a target to get here.
Yep.
He didn't have a target. He had a great tackle on Damian Harris, but unfortunately he didn't make the offensive box score.
You have to be considered someone who's a threat to make a catch by the defense.
I can't wait for him to be gone. Like, this is just getting ridiculous. I was saying today, I saw somewhere on Twitter, Deebo Samuel had some ridiculous record. I think he's 5 receiving touchdowns, 5 rushing touchdowns, and 1,000-yard receiving for the first time. He's one of like a very small amount of people to do that. And I just think eventually N'Keal Harry is going to be a trivia question where it's like this wide receiver class is going to be all-time great. And the question is like, who is drafted first? And like the historic 2018 or 2019, whatever it was, NFL draft. And it's going to be N'Keal Harry. I'm going to get it every time. It's a very easy question. Mm-hmm. Remember the like demanding a trade storyline over the summer? I think it was him and his pops or him and his agent.
Yep.
Good God, this guy is just the worst. Are you disappointed that he switched to number 1 and still didn't make a difference?
I think I said this earlier. I think the Patriots have to retire that number.
Please.
Because nothing good has come from it.
I said the same thing about number 11 in Boston Celtics. Just like, get rid of it. It's always a headache.
God, the more ones that you have, the worse.
Seriously, just get rid of the digit 1 in the greater New England area. Good grief, is that terrible? It's almost the more, yeah, you're right. The more ones you get, the worse it gets. But I don't know. I'm excited about Patriots football. I think we're gonna have a good playoff run. Do you think they're the best team in the AFC?
Probably not ready to say that yet.
Chiefs?
I think it's still the Chiefs. I think they'd be fucking tough. And then if somehow we got matched up against the Ravens, even though they're pretty much just Lamar,
yeah,
like just stopping him would be a very frustrating game to watch. I'll say that.
Still, Lamar in the playoffs still doesn't scare me, especially at New England. I think the Chiefs comes down to seeding. Mac Jones going to Arrowhead is a lot to ask.
But you want Lamar to switch positions too, don't you?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. He's a quarterback. Good quarterback.
Mel Kiper.
Quarterback. No, I didn't say that. Yeah, it's basically Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews, star-studded tight end, who is sick. Yeah, they don't scare me. No one in the AFC really scares me. Chiefs do because they have the potential for big plays, but they also have the potential for big turnovers. The way that Mahomes kid just goes out there and slings it, he gets reckless. But at home, yeah, fuck that. Going to Arrowhead, 4:30 on a Sunday, no chance. I'd say Chiefs minus 12.5 is comfortable, especially now that their defense is starting to click. That'd be a big ask. But I'll say that I also don't think the Chiefs want Belichick coming into town. I hope that'd be a great AFC championship. That's the only team I'm concerned about. Like you said,
them coming here.
No, I think the Chiefs. I don't think the Chiefs would want to see New England either way.
Okay.
They don't want to see Belichick, or they do just from the last time that Brady. That was a great game.
Yeah. Brady and.
See real quick. I just want to go through the standings here. Ooh. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a weird pop up on my phone, on my computer rather. Let me see real quick. And we still have those 2 games against the Bills. And Tre'Davious White is out for the season. That is getting kind of weird. Some of like the injury stuff falling into place.
Yeah,
I will admit it. I'm gonna give. I know you're a hater. I'm gonna give you that one. A lot of COVID. Like you said, the Titans' offense is just done more or less. And Bill's probably best defensive player at least is out. So that's kind of chill. Yeah, Baltimore, New England. So Baltimore, meh. Tennessee, no. Kansas City's there. Bengals, no. Not afraid of Joe Burrow.
No.
Buffalo, not yet. Who's this? The Chargers?
Nope.
Raiders? And then you get to like Broncos, and the Colts are the 10 seed. Honestly, at this point, the Colts maybe, just because they're starting to play well. But Carson Wentz, no. Pittsburgh blows. I think they're terrible. We can talk about, dude, Roethlisberger had another one of his Roethlisberger games last night or yesterday, where it's just a handful of the opposite of a low light of just bad throw, like Tim Tebow looking throws.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. He doesn't look well.
He really looks like he's at the end.
I'd call it.
Yeah.
I'd put in that Rudolph kid and call it.
He had one throw, I think it was last weekend or maybe the weekend before, where it reminded me of that Hail Mary attempt by Cam last year.
Oh,
it may have been a sort of a Hail Mary attempt by Roethlisberger where it barely got to like the other 10-yard line. And it was probably from midfield. So nothing that crazy.
You see the camera just pivot to the end zone and then slowly pivot back 20 yards to see the ball on the ground and not a receiver in sight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's not looking great. But I think I saw, like I said, I saw someone post on Twitter today. I'm not going to try and go find it, but it was like posting about like, is Cam Newton done in Carolina? And I said, it's kind of like New England last year. He's not playing well, but there's no other alternative.
Yeah.
I know for us, we couldn't play Hoyer or Stidham. We found that out in the Kansas City game. And I don't think they're in a rush to put in Sam Darnold or whoever else they have.
Well, who was it that started the first game where he was back?
Yeah, I don't know.
A practice squad guy or something like that.
I think so. Some guy. I don't think they're better than Cam. And of course, like at this point, you're not going to make the playoffs. McCaffrey's out. You're not going to do anything. The fans want to see Cam. Just leave him out there for the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. Cut his ties. They definitely overpaid for him though. That's come to fruition. I think they paid like $10 million for a half a season, which is crazy. And also just makes that deal with us look so much better. like $1 million. Literally nothing to lose. Why not? I think in hindsight, it's probably I think it got Mac to compete in camp, to compete with a real veteran household name quarterback, and then just cut him. And now we're the number 2 seed in the AFC.
Is there any part of you that wishes it was Cam still starting? Maybe this was the wrong decision to go with Mac.
Is there any part of me?
Like maybe we'd actually be 9-3 or 10-2 with Cam.
Yeah, I just haven't deciphered which part of me. I don't know. There's got to be people out there like Dan Bulio.
I feel bad for Panthers fans because they were like our guy's back.
I'm back.
Yeah. Those 2 solid. Well, the first game, he had the 2 touchdowns.
Plays.
Yeah.
Plays against a team who didn't scheme up for him whatsoever. And like, fuck this. I don't know what to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he pretty much ran it in from the 1 twice.
Yeah.
And then the second game was good, but I can't remember who the fuck they played. I know they lost. Oh, I think they were playing the Washington football team.
Yeah, they were. They lost to Miami yesterday, who also stinks. So,
yeah. Sorry, Panthers. Sorry, Meg. Yeah. Biggest Panthers fan I know.
That's tough. There's just not many good football teams.
No.
Patriots are a good football team.
Yeah,
I consider Buffalo a good football team.
Anyone
Baltimore's
watching
good,
and your team stinks, feel free to jump on the bandwagon with us.
And there's also there's more teams I thought were good that are now bad. I think Cleveland is bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Chargers are mid.
I was just going to say Chargers are a little mid. Yeah, for sure. I think the NFC East, per usual, is bad. Dallas kind of tricked us for a little bit. They stink. Philly's terrible. Jalen Hurts had a terrible game. Let's see. Minnesota's another one who I thought might be good. They're bad.
Rams might be fraudulent.
Rams, I think, are the one. Rams might be the biggest frauds out there.
Mm-hmm.
And tough news for Rams fans. They don't have a draft pick till like my son goes to college. Like they traded everything for Von Miller. And what was the deal for Odell? Was that a trade or no? No, they just picked him up, right? Because he was free. Okay. Oh, they traded for Stafford. Big trade for Stafford. And Sony Michel.
You might have to draft your son.
They might.
I don't even know if he wants to play football, but they're probably going to draft him.
No, I'm not afraid of the Rams in the playoffs at all. They're definitely not going to be. I'm trying to think who they would play. I mean, look at let's go playoff standings. NFC, National Football Conference. They are the 5 seed. They're 2 games behind Arizona for the division. So they're not going to win the division because they're also not as good as Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to go on the road. They're going to go to Tampa. No. They'd go to Green Bay. No. They might go to Dallas. Tough place to play. And then San Fran's right there too. San Fran's only a game behind them. And lately, San Fran's looked better than the Rams.
Yep.
And then the 4th team in that division is Seattle, who's historically pretty good. But now they stink. So, again.
Terrible game tonight.
What's tonight? WFT and
Seahawks.
WTF. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's bad. Is Russell Wilson back? He's back, right?
Yeah.
Not playing well.
Hasn't made a difference.
Heineke. No, unfortunately not. Fortunately, he hasn't. What about that guy who like sucks pacifiers on the sidelines? He's playing, right? DK Metcalf.
Oh, yeah. Somehow that has
another one.
Difference.
No.
Great hair though. Great head of hair.
He's in great shape, huh? DK
Yeah.
Metcalf. Good looking guy. Washboard abs.
Ouija board abs.
Mm-hmm.
You used to have those.
Do. Don't anymore. What do I got here? I did have another note. Let me go through my general football notes and we can move on. Pats look fun again. AFC stinks. Pats are also interesting too because I don't know. I think I heard a stat, but I'm not going to try and look it up. But just from the eye test, it seems like their opening drives have looked pretty good recently. I think they've scored on most of their opening drives. But like after the opening drive, so drive 2 through like mid-3rd quarter of every game is really boring. Like that game yesterday was very boring. Nothing really happened. The Bourne touchdown, And then it was some missed field goals, a bunch of Nick Folk field goals. Excuse me. The J.C. Jackson fumble was a great play and scoop up by Jalen Mills. But that was the real turning point in the game. That was until second half. Big Bills games coming up. Yes, I still think that's true. More bad Baker and more weird-looking Aaron Rodgers. I think I remember writing that note. Baker Mayfield looked stupid again last night.
Yep.
I think Aaron Rodgers has to be up there for someone who's really good, but he just looks weirder and weirder every week. I don't know what it is. His hair might get longer or like grayer.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like an elite level NFL quarterback.
He's got the shit on his chin, which keeps getting grayer. And then, yeah, I think I heard somewhere that he said he wasn't going to cut the hair. So it's just like he's fully bought into being a hippie in every sense of the word this season.
It's weird because it's like that old school, like Green Bay Packers helmet with just like old gross hair, like coming out of the back of it. Mm-hmm. He's aged a lot, I think, over the last like couple of years, like the opposite of Tom Brady. Like he looks like an old man, but he's pretty good.
I'm curious where he wants to go for next season.
I just don't know what the better, like every year he wants to leave, but every year the Packers are like really good and probably the best option to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, remember some of the teams he was throwing around? It was like Denver, Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Denver was the top one, and I didn't understand like
why.
I understand you already play in the cold, so all right, fine. I guess he's good enough where it's like wherever I go, I'll be able to attract some other people to follow me there too. But then again, why Denver? Why
wouldn't NFL? It's not. I know
I
what
think
you mean,
he's
but
good enough. I feel like him and Brady are good enough. NFL.
Yeah, but look at the people Brady got were like, so they overachieved. Like he got Gronk, Fournette. I get Antonio Brown. Like the Bucks team that Brady went to is a lot better than the Broncos team that Rodgers would go to, regardless of who he recruits. Because it's not like the NBA where you can, guys are moving all the time. But either way, it's like they could very well go, 3 or 4 losses this year, playing the NFC Championship, maybe playing the Super Bowl, and then be like, all right, like I'd like to win now, so I'm going to go to Denver and play with Melvin Gordon and I don't know, Jerry Jeudy and see what I can do. I'd like a higher altitude and lower amounts of good players, please, in my next contract. I want to be paid by the foot above sea level.
I've always wanted to play against Austin Eckler twice a year as well.
Yeah, please. I'd actually like to face Patrick Mahomes as much as possible. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. I've had enough of facing Kirk Cousins, Andy Dalton, and Jared Goff. I need to take a step back and get some cake. Give me Mahomes, Derek Carr, and Justin Herbert 6 times a year, please.
Yeah, I was gonna say that conference.
That's suicide. Yeah, that's stupid. You might be in the worst conference. That's probably the worst conference in the NFL, or division rather, in the NFL.
NFC North, where he's currently.
Correct. Then the MCs just, I don't know, slap their nuts against each other throughout the year to see who's the worst division. But right now it's like, you have the lot, like between the Lions and Bears, that's 4 wins a year. Yep. And then worst case, you typically split with the Vikings. That's 5 or 6 wins a year before you even look at the rest of your schedule. It was that's like what the NFC or the AFC East used to be. Dolphins and Jets and Bills were 6 wins a year before we even flipped the coin on week 1. So that's why like Brady leave, and I think that's a testament to how bad that Patriots roster was when he left. He's like, I'll make up 6 games elsewhere. It's okay. Mm-hmm. I don't need this anymore. So speaking of that, did you send me or did we both see that Zack Wilson interception from Sunday?
I didn't. I didn't send you that, but that was phenomenal.
Oh, that was an incredible play. That made Max almost pick 6 look like, I don't know, look like a very good throw, to put it lightly.
Bad football is like the gift that keeps on giving every single week. It's so awesome. There's always at least one stupid ass blooper that looks like that. because he was like, what was it? He was like trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and then at the last second tossed it to the receiver. Receiver wasn't looking, and it just hit off like his shoulder blades or something.
Yeah, it was definitely a read. I'm not going to venture it was a good read. He read something. and at that point in time, that was the best decision. I know I broke up a little bit, but at the end of the day, he basically threw it into he threw it into a lineman, and then it bounced off and went to the defender?
No, I think he did throw it at the receiver's back.
Okay. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Zach. Not a bad, good intentions.
Yeah, he meant well.
They were intentions. He meant to do something, just not sure what. So, what are you gonna do? Last thing here. Oh, Aaron Donald might kill someone on the field someday. We've talked about this before. For some reason, like offensive linemen continue to like, one of my favorite terms, poke the bear with Aaron Donald, like in between plays. And for the life of me, I can't decipher why.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that? He had like one of the Packers linemen like a chokehold. Like,
I did.
Into the whistle.
Someone compared it to a Darth Vader, like
yeah,
force choke.
Absolutely. Except he uses his actual hand.
Yeah, worse.
Which I assume is even stronger than Dr. Vader. Darth Vader's force. That'd be a good matchup. Darth Vader at offensive tackle and Aaron Donald like lined up in the B gap.
Oh man. Yeah.
That'd be like a football guys type of matchup. Giardi would like that one. Or no,
I
Big
would take
Boy
Donald
would like that
over
one
Darth
in the trenches. Oh man, ESPN would be able to plug that for a week. Donald and Darth one-on-one.
Yeah. Where did Aaron Donald go to school?
Pittsburgh, I think.
Standard.
Yeah, talk about mid. So that's my takes on that. Did you? I personally don't feel the need to, but did you want to touch on any Celtics basketball of recent?
Real quick before we finish the Patriots, I did have questions. Number one, this isn't a question. All I wrote was Jackrabbit Jenkins.
I agree.
Okay, so we're on the same page there.
No, I did have a point. That is Janoris Jenkins, right?
I have no idea. I was like, that must be his given. That's his government name, as far as I'm concerned.
Hold on, I'm really glad you brought that up. Hold on, because I had some questions around this.
No, the way that Iron Eagle,
of course, it's not Janoris Jenkins. Janoris Jenkins is on the. It's trying to load. Oh no, it is Janoris Jenkins.
Huh?
Nickname Jackrabbit. Okay. Janoris Jenkins is on the Titans. Did you bring that up because that graphic said Jackrabbit Jenkins?
No, because I heard Iron Eagle say Jackrabbit Jenkins.
Okay. I saw it on the graph. It was one of those weird things where they show the graphic and then they like took it away very quickly. So I thought they made a mistake, like by just writing Jackrabbit Jenkins for some reason. And I was like, oh, that's sick. That's a funny mistake. Sucks for the kid who's going to get fired, but that's very funny. And then I Googled it or went on Twitter or something and saw that's his nickname. Again, I don't know where you're going with this, but if the point is simply Jackrabbit Jenkins, then yes.
Yes.
I agree.
the question and the answer is both Jackrabbit Jenkins.
Very
just
cool.
Crazy. The reason I bring it up is because Iron Eagle said the name and was like, I don't know which player was brought down. I think it may have been Myers, but it ended up being like a face mask. And it was like, dragged down by Jackrabbit Jenkins. That's going to be a penalty of whatever, 15 yards. And then he just moved on to the next play. And I was like, you're not going to explain who the fuck that was? Like, I've never heard that name.
I've never seen someone go by that name before in my life. Yeah, that was very cool. Very cool. I did want to mention real quick. So I will say one silver lining about the season. So the past like 10 years, the Patriots, I would say majority of the time have been the premier CBS broadcast. Yep. Nance and Sims are now Nance and Romo the past like 4 or 5 years. Now that they're not, we tend to get Iron Eagle for a lot of these games. And that's a great team.
Yeah.
Iron Eagle. Who's the analyst with them? I always forget.
Charles Davis.
And then
Evan
Washburn on the sidelines.
Yeah.
That's the good looking guy.
Oh,
very well put
handsome as
together.
fuck.
Professional, a pro's pro.
Yeah.
No matter what the elements are, great head of hair, always focused, giving us exactly what we need. Doesn't talk too long, doesn't rush through things. That's a great team. That's a good big three.
Yeah. Solid. Iron Eagle's up there for sure.
He's a good one.
By
He's
himself.
Yeah, no, great guy. Because Romo, I haven't watched too many games with Nance and Romo this year. Because, like I said, it used to usually be the Patriots. I've heard a lot of people talk about how Romo's like gradually declining. I think they talked about it on Felger and Maz.
They did
something.
I saw.
Was there a rumor he was drunk on the Thanksgiving game? Was that what game did they do? The Cowboys game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't really catch. I didn't listen to it. At least it was like on in the background. Yeah, I've heard some not so good things about his performance.
He was making some interesting comments about what he would have done if he was the coach.
I saw that he would have gone the fourth down one. Yeah.
Yeah. He would have gone for it on like 4th and 5 from their own 4
in overtime. Yeah.
And Nance just kind of had to. All right.
I don't know, Tony. We'll see. What
they're lining up the punt.
Yeah. Sorry, Tony. And it's almost like two ends of the spectrum. He used to be like too good when he would like literally like guess every play before it happened. Because that was like, okay, like this is kind of stupid. It's like Woj like leaking draft picks like before they get picked. It's like, okay. I wonder if that'd be a thing. Like a burner account, nobody knows who he is, but he's someone on like an NFL sideline who like leaks plays on Twitter like before they run them.
Oh man.
That'd be a good investigation.
Yeah. That would be, you would have to think that would be someone like an opponent of the Patriots and Belichick's paying them.
I was going to say the Patriots are involved one way or the other. They're probably not on the losing end of it. Yeah, for sure. What was I going to say? Oh, you told me this weekend, you just recently found out how college overtime works.
Yeah, I had no idea.
It's interesting.
That is fucking chaos.
It's nuts, dude. It's just like no rules, roll it out. It's not sudden death, but it's like there's a good chance the first team's going to score every time. You're at the 25.
Yeah.
So it's just if you can't score a touchdown from here, you don't deserve to win the game. Pack up your shit and go. That's why college football overtimes can get into like 6, 7, 8 overtimes, which only takes like half an hour. Because it's just back to back to back to back.
So what's the in between? Because I know the first one you start at the 25. The third overtime is just 2-point conversions. What's the in between?
That's somewhat new. No, I forgot about the 2-point conversion thing. Either I forgot about it or I just actually didn't know that. I know traditionally it's just from the 25 in. If I go first and score 7, you need to score 7 or more to win or tie. If you don't, you lose. But they just go back and forth.
Gotcha.
And I wish they'd incorporate, I know we say this all the time, but there's got to be a logistical reason to incorporate a tiebreaker in the NFL. Like you can't have ties in the NFL. That's just too stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If the concern is like player safety or something or length of games or whatever, do a 10-minute overtime and then just do that. Or just do sudden death from like the 25. Flip another coin and do sudden death from 25. Because before, when the NFL overtime was legit sudden death, if you win the coin flip, you're going to win. You should be able to get in field goal range. You know what I mean? It was good in the sense where it probably avoided a lot more ties, but it's also like it comes down to a coin flip.
Mm-hmm.
Even now when you score a touch, like there's teams when Brady was clicking, Mahomes, probably Rodgers. Like if you win the coin flip and can walk off with a touchdown, there's a good chance that team's going to score a touchdown. But that tie, like the only time we get ties was shitty games, like the Steelers-Lions tie because no one can score. The Cardinals had a tie this year too, I think. I forget who they played. But yeah, it's the shitty teams who tie because neither of them know how to score or operate any sort of clutch game management.
Dude, you know what I happened to watch yesterday? I was just curious about that Justin Tucker field goal, the 66-yard record breaker. Big one. I was watching it and it was cool just because it was fan camera angles and stuff. So they were like videos with millions of views. Then I completely forgot that one of the videos in the compilation was from Pele off Twitter. where
oh yeah. He was right in the thick of it, dude.
Dude, it's so good because the video is on the field for so long, then it slowly pans back and Pele's just.
Yep. That one had millions of views.
It was in a video it was part of a compilation.
Oh, a compilation. I see.
Yeah.
I understand. Compilation.
I had a question. Another question.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Well, there must be like mics on the uprights now or something. But did you notice how loud those fucking doinks were?
Yes.
Those are like, I don't know if they're
it sounded like Dustin Johnson teeing off. Yeah, that was loud, dude.
But dude, no one, you don't walk away from that anything other than embarrassed if you're the kicker, and like head down, tail between your legs.
That sounded like. Yeah, that sounded like the those are louder than the muskets on the sidelines after the Patriots touchdowns.
And I noticed that in multiple games this weekend because fucking every kicker was missing.
Yeah, kickers are terrible this year.
That's another stat that they actually read out on Felger and Mass today was that kickers of Patriots opponents this year are kicking a season low 61%.
Terrible.
Which is incredible, but it makes sense.
Yeah, terrible. Outside of like the handful of good teams, and I don't think we talk about this as much, or maybe don't notice because the Patriots are playing well. There is some very bad football this year. Like just overall, it's not a great product. Thank God if this was last year with no fans, this might be a write-off. This might be a tax write-off for the 2021 NFL season. Which more or less was last year, actually, when the Patriots were bad. But they were bad enough where, like we said, it was still fun to talk about because you just talk about Cam doing stupid shit. But there's like, if you're one of those middle of the line teams, oh God, I don't know how you tune into this. Dude, even the real bad teams, Jags, Lions, Seahawks, Bears, Jets.
Yeah, what are you watching for? You want to see your team just tank, I guess. I don't know.
Bad football. Even the Steelers. Steelers are 500, well, 5-5-1. But they've just played some ugly looking football. All stemming from quarterback. Do you think Ben's going to retire this year?
Oh my God. I feel like they'll just be like, dude, I don't know how much money we owe you, but we'll double it if you retire.
Yeah. Here's your severance package. Just we're going to pay you to not play here anymore. I don't know. I feel like he's also one of the. It does kind of suck because I feel like it would be understandable if he had like retirement year, like a send off year, like like Drew Brees did and everyone else, like when they go to the stadiums and stuff. I don't know if he can afford it. Like after that, I don't know if he can do another 17 games. And again, I don't think it's a guarantee he would do that, but I think he's right on the cusp. If that was a news story, I wouldn't be like, oh, really? Like I would understand that. Big Ben farewell tour.
Wait a minute.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, every city that they come to, they just gift them a jersey that.
Sure. Yeah.
Here's what we sacked you in back in 2016.
Yeah. Carmelo's had like a handful of those. I feel like retirement years. He's had at least one or two. Trying to think. Wade had one. Dirk had one. Kobe, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Did Pierce have one? Was Pierce's last season well known? No, right? Okay. So Pierce is kind of like the Roethlisberger equivalent, like right on the line. If he did that, actually everyone hates the Celtics, so I don't think it would go very well. But yeah, Shaq never really did that, right? He just kind of faded out of the league.
Nah, I feel like it only started the past couple of years.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's kind of a new thing. Breeze definitely did. Kind of. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I made that up because I remember at that Patriots Bucks Saints playoff game, it wasn't really known. That's like when it was first like hinted at. So Breeze, I don't know why I thought that. Breeze didn't. Maybe I'm just misthinking the NFL. Peyton did, right?
Are you maybe thinking of when he broke like the yards record?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. He broke the yards record every week on his last year and had a celebration. That's kind of a weird story that wasn't a story. Like Brady breaking the all-time record at Gillette and just nothing was made of it whatsoever.
Yeah.
It was just moved to chains 3. That's really strange. I don't know what's weirder, that or like in the middle of a professional football game, like them just stopping and celebrating a record on like 3rd and 6.
on like a 2-minute drill drive.
Yeah, right. The clock's like ticking and they're still clock time expires as like they're carrying them around on shoulders. I'm trying to think if that's happened in basketball. What's like a big record? Probably the 3-point record. Didn't Ray Allen break that in the middle of a game?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
Yeah, they just paused the game. Or no, I think they may have like they waited for the next dead ball, and that's when they did sort of a tribute video.
That would make sense.
Yeah. That's
acceptable.
I have a question. How did the NFL determine, like, with the 17th game, whether you get a home game or a road game?
I don't know. I assumed everyone just played in London at one point. That doesn't seem to be true. Yeah, I thought
that
about
seems
that too.
Kind of important.
Isn't this the only league that has an uneven amount of games?
Yeah.
Like I don't understand obviously it's money, but that just doesn't seem right to me. There's always going to be a team who has a natural advantage because they have one more home game.
Yeah.
Very stupid. Unless you're the Jags,
that.
You play in London every year. But yeah, I thought that was really weird coming out when they first announced it. It's the only, like, it's just obviously natural would be 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Not here. Where do the Patriots fall? Are they one more home or one more away?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I feel like they've been at home forever for like the last month. No, they're just in Atlanta. I guess they're pretty split. I wouldn't be surprised if they have one more road game. Where do we have the Colts? Do we have the Colts at home?
I'm not sure, but the next game is at Buffalo.
Yep, at Buffalo Monday night. That'll be a good one. We still have a bye week. I forgot about that. We get a bye week. Fucking Christmas, December 8th. Colts at Colts Saturday night football. That's pretty cool. Saturday night football at the Colts. Obviously home against the Bills, and then week 17. It's got to be one of those dog shit. Oh, week 17 is home against the Jags. Hell yeah, Urban Meyer Bowl. That's gonna be a hot ticket. Where else would you rather be in the middle of January than New England Gillette Stadium to see Trevor Lawrence play? We should raffle off tickets to that game.
Dude, I tweeted this and I got some vitriol from a CPF. I think you're going to agree with me, but I just said, I don't care how good my team is. If it's not above 50 degrees, I'm not going to a football game.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm more or less the same, especially at this. Like if I was younger, maybe like if I was like in college or something and tailgated all day. No, I'm 32 years old. I don't need to stand out from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the 10.
We're also
weather.
Spoiled. Like we've seen the team be good for the past 20 years. So I'll just watch it from my couch.
Football's different too. Like the seat I'm going to get, I'm not going to see anything.
Exactly.
It's a totally different. If it was like courtside, if somehow the Celtics are playing outside and I had courtside seats, I'd probably go. But yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with that take.
It's also like
maybe what about a playoff game? Like AFC Championship.
I would definitely consider. It's not like a hard yes or no, but like I would have to think about it. But the other thing is, like, I was thinking about it compared to baseball, which can get pretty cold.
Oh yeah.
But at least with baseball, when there isn't like action going on, or when there is action going on, you can see pretty clearly what's happening. With football, like even when there is stuff going on, you don't even really know unless you're watching the Jumbotron.
Correct. Yeah, it's definitely live sports in general are always a different experience because you don't have no play-by-play, which is really weird. That's one of the first things I noticed, like when I first went to games. It is a completely different experience. Have you ever been to live wrestling, like WWE?
No, I'd like to.
It's really fun, but that's, to me, out of all the sporting events, if you include that I've been to, that's the biggest difference you'll notice, like without announcers. It is really weird because it's just two guys silent, like wrestling each other. When you're so used to like the announcers kind of making it. So yeah, I think I would agree with you on that take. I mean, I definitely wouldn't pay big money to like go to the game.
No,
I assume you mean like for free, like you'd consider it, right? Okay. Yeah, if it was free, Have you been to a Patriots game
Mm-hmm.
in general? It's a day. Like it's such a hassle. Parking,
That's the other thing.
traffic. It's the worst. There's no easy way to get in and out of there under like 3 hours each way.
I've been to two. One was at the end of September, and it was already like only about 45 degrees, which doesn't sound
Oh, I
that
think we went
crazy
to the
cold.
same game. Didn't you go to that Baltimore Monday night
So
game?
that was the second one. That one I
Yeah.
happened to get lucky, and we were
And that was
sitting
decent weather, I
indoors.
remember too. Oh yeah, that's right. That was decent weather for like
Mhm.
a November game. I do remember that. That was a lot of fun, and we had decent seats. But yeah,
That's what I was gonna
December.
say. I got lucky and was sitting indoors, but since the windows are fucking open anyways, it was still
Yeah.
freezing in there.
It doesn't make much of a difference. Yeah. Also, what's weird about football is they'll have games like Christmas Eve, like New Year's Eve. Like I don't want to spend Christmas Eve outdoors at a Patriots game against the
No.
Jets.
If
And those
there
are
was a
always the
way where
most
you could cut
affordable
it down,
tickets too.
it like if it didn't require all the tailgating, getting up early, and then the traffic afterwards, I would definitely be
Yeah.
more willing to consider it. Like if you could
Yeah.
I just got to show up like 20 minutes beforehand, and then I get home
Mhm.
at a normal time, maybe
Mhm.
like a Celtics
Yep.
game.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
people don't realize that there's also that like anyone not in New England anyways, that there's only one way in and out of Gillette. It's fucking stupid.
Mhm.
It's in just like a neighborhood residential road. All of a
Yep.
sudden it's
Like a
Patriot
dirt
Place,
road.
Toby Keith's Bar and Grill, and then good old the
Professional
Razor.
football stadium. Yeah.
Mhm.
Remember the old I mean, I'm sure it's happened recently, but I remember from like the early Patriots days, like those games where it was snowing and people would just start throwing like their snow up in the air, like in their seats.
Oh my god.
Oh god, it'd be so miserable. Just getting snow
Dude.
blown into your face.
You would just
Oh,
want to
that
fight
sounds like
everyone
hell.
there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Last thing I wanted to touch on, kind of switching subjects, and we'll get going here. I saw what time it was. Or maybe we can save this. I was going to ask your thoughts on the Paranormal movie. I know we both happened to stumble into it over this past holiday weekend. Paranormal Activity Next of Kin, I believe it's called. Yeah. I thought it was a good one. I enjoyed it.
I thought I was watching an autobiography, to be honest.
I actually clicked on like one of our older episodes on YouTube, and someone did like a dramatic reenactment of it. But I know we talk about horror movies a lot, but we've talked about the Paranormal Activity movies. I think we both like them. If you appreciate them for what they are, like I like them. They're good movies. They're just unique. Like they're all first person angles or first person perspectives on different kind of cameras. I like this one because I think you mentioned it too. The setting of this one is awesome. It's like out in like Amish country, which naturally can be very scary.
Oh my god, I can't think of a scarier group of people.
No, just so people who are just so disconnected from reality, but still, having to operate like normal people. Like having
I don't
to
know
stay
what
alive
curses you're capable
without
of.
electricity.
Yeah, I know you don't like modern shit, but you probably have a voodoo doll of me somewhere here.
You must seriously, like, if you know what normal life is, you must be tempted to just like cheat here and there. Like log into the Wi-Fi for half an hour and like just look up what's happening in the world.
Or see
like,
how much fun this
turn on the
is.
light.
You'll like it.
Seriously. Like put on the game for 5 minutes.
Want to get behind the wheel?
Yeah. Drive a car. They don't drive cars, right?
You sinner.
I assume they don't drink alcohol.
No, I don't think so. They're notorious for some bad things too. I'm not being sarcastic here.
Like, what do you mean?
Incest, rape.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, like they're so disconnected from reality. Mm-hmm. It's like you probably get like you just go crazy and do terrible things like that. But no, the movies, I thought it was really well done. I don't know, we can get into it for like 5 minutes, but it's basically a young girl, probably like in her, I don't know, like mid-20s, goes on like one of those 23andMe sites to like find, she doesn't know her real parents. So she went online. I think, what was it? That guy, Sam, was like one of her distant relatives who he connected with. And it's like, hey, like, we live out on this Amish farm. You're welcome to come by and get to know everyone. And I guess she knew her mother was dead, right?
Yeah.
But she was from that family. Sarah, R.I.P. She
was one of the good ones.
She was good character. I liked her. So the girl goes out, meets everyone, but yeah, just like the setting was so scary. Like some of those visuals were so scary. Like just the people, that old church was terrifying. Like when they found this old church, like out in the woods, some of the stuff in the church is very scary. The people, any movie with little kids is terrifying. Every little kid in that movie was terrifying. And they didn't do anything wrong. They're probably nice kids, just terrifying. Little kids without electricity are very scary.
Oh, big time.
Who just like churn butter like for fun.
Terrible combinations. I was going to say also any scene where they were outside and all you could see was the falling snow in front of you.
Oh, man.
Like, yeah, that was terrifying.
Well, that's why those movies are scary. Like there's probably, say it's an hour and a half movie. There's probably 5 minutes of like scary stuff, but it's just 20 minutes of buildup for, if you've watched the movies, you know what I mean? Like it's 20 minutes of terrifying buildup. Like when she went upstairs, like in her old mother's room.
Oh yeah.
That scene was terrifying because she's just walking around. I mean, it's a no-brainer. If you're walking around at a stranger's Amish house in the dark in a closet, that's scary no matter what. Even if nothing happened. I was like, wow, that was a very scary scene.
You're in for a spook.
Yeah, for sure. But like stuff jumps out. Overall, I'd say it was a good movie. But I also think it's because I like that series. I appreciate them for what they are. I think they got better and better for the most part as the series went on. I actually looked it up before we came on. There are a few I forgot about, like some of those weird spin-off ones. But this one was good. I think it gets the Morse Code podcast thumbs up recommendation. I checked it out.
I've heard that the one, I think it was the most previous one about a Spanish gang. I've heard that one was pretty
I saw that
good
one
too. Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
It was pretty good. Hold on, would you? Yeah, it was just do me a favor. Hold on. Paranormal Activity 1 was followed by 2, then 3, and then 4.
I am scared.
So, spoiler alert, yeah. The marked ones. I did think I saw this one. Yeah,
I didn't see that one.
Scary. I specifically remember number 3 being really good. That was the one like in the 80s, I think, where it was like the prequel. The main characters from the first one were kids, and you see how they get like so fucked up. But yeah, any like, maybe this is like a no-brainer, but any like place that are like built on like those old like ancient Indian burial grounds and like stuff like that has the potential to be scary.
Just open farmland and
it reminded me a little bit. Have you seen that movie The Visit?
Yeah,
I think it's called The Visit. Very scary. Good. Very similar. Kind of like it has little village vibes to it. It was good. I mean, if you want, we can just upload the video and play it from here. It's about an hour and a half.
Everything we've
grab
done.
Some popcorn. Yeah, and check it out. But no, that's all I got. Anything from you before we sign off? Did you miss any hot takes you wanted to get out there?
Yeah, one final question. Because I didn't want to talk about the Celtics anyways, but I just put this up to a poll, and I wanted your answer, and we'll see how the poll does. Well, who do you think's been more surprising, Grant Williams or Brandon Bolden?
Grant Williams has been better, I think, which is surprising. I don't know who I expected more out of. Grant Williams has been solid, which is very surprising. So Grant Williams, he's been somewhat dependable. But no, like it's like they're just not a fun team to talk about. And I think what it comes down to is, I know they talk about this all the time on the radio. I think fucking Cam and Taunton talks about this all the time. I think eventually you just have to come to the realization that they're just a 500 team. Like they're an average team right now, which I guess you can say is underperforming because they have multiple all-stars. I just think that's who they are. I think it was, again, they say this on Felger and Mavs all the time, but I think it's back to that OG Anunoby buzzer beater in the bubble. Since that game, they're like exactly 500 over like 2.5 years. And right now they're right around 500. They win a couple games that they shouldn't win, and then they just balance it out by losing a couple games that they shouldn't lose, like the Spurs game. The Nets, I figured, they got blown out by the Nets. That's fine. Spurs game, but those games, those have like, it's so easy to identify a Celtics trap game. Like those Sunday afternoon or like 6 p.m. games against a non-playoff team, like just take the money line on the other team every time and win some easy money, or at least they're going to look like shit and maybe win. I just think that's what it is. The natural like narrative to just talk about all the time is splitting up like the Jays or Marcus Smart or whatever. At this point, I really don't care. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Like, I don't think you need to, but if they want to do a move, if they go another 500 year, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't work. You know, Tatum shoots not all the time. He had a few games during that little winning streak, but he just has so many games that are just so bad. Last night included. Did you watch the game last night?
I know they won a little bit of it.
Yeah, me too. But it's like every time I check in before turning it on, it's like 2 for 7, and then it doesn't get much better from there.
Yeah.
And then every time I log on Twitter, I don't know if you know, Greeny's new thing is he's posting like the assists versus potential assists for like every game.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
I don't even know how to interpret those. I don't know what that means. I don't know what's good or bad. So I think the one I saw was like Marcus Smart had, or I guess as an example, like 8 assists off 15 potential assists. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't think that's good. Like if you have a potential assist, you should assist.
I think it's good for Marcus and bad for whoever's missing the shot.
I understand. That makes sense. Oh, that's more of a something on the other player.
Mm-hmm.
Here's an assist you should have, but you stink and you missed it. Okay.
Yeah, once we get to the point where we're keeping track of things that should happen but didn't,
never
I'm not
good.
Interested.
Never good. That was the Patriots last year.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if this happened and they beat this team and this team lost, they'd only be 5-6 instead of 4-8. Say, okay, yeah, sick, but they're 4-8 or like whatever they were at the time.
Yeah, that 6-game losing streak. Those are all potential wins.
Yeah. Some would argue potential wins are better than literal losses.
Mm-hmm.
Except playoff seedings and playoff seedings, pretty much. Did you get your Enes Kanter Freedom jersey yet off Fanatics?
I got 2 in the mail.
Freedomatics. Oh, you got 2? Home and away?
Home and away, yep.
Nice. That's sick,
waiting
dude.
For my my city editions waiting for them to drop the city edition.
Yeah, your citizen edition, U.S. citizen edition. Oh boy, that's going to be such an annoying storyline. If they cut him, I might just cut my internet simultaneously. There's going to be a lot of people I don't want to see talking about that. You and I included, for sure. The other thing I would touch on, I know we type on our group text. Tough look for Kemba Walker in the year of our Lord 2021. That was a mind-blowing stat.
Falling off a cliff.
Quick. Like Wile E. Coyote himself. Not good. Let me just read. Let's end here. At Fred Katz. Sick name. Statistical summary of why the Knicks are pulling Kemba Walker from the rotation. Knicks have the best defense in the league when he's on the bench and are dead last when he's on the floor. I genuinely don't think you can get any bigger discrepancy than that. Literally. Good news is they're 27th in offense with him playing and only 9th with him off. Or other way around. They're only 27th in the league when he's playing.
That's supposed to be his homecoming.
I don't see how you can like go to a performance review with that number and not get like fired. like if I had a quarterly check-in and they're like, hey, like when you take PTO, the company's making more money than they ever have. But when you're working, we're losing billions of dollars.
There's a lot of big names that are being asked to please do not play. I saw Blake Griffin today, John Wall. I think DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, John Wall's a weird one. John Wall's
I don't know what
playing.
to make of that story.
There's got, like I said this, I think I said this earlier today, like John Wall, Ben Simmons, and Kyrie Irving, they're just not playing. They're employed. They're just not playing basketball for 3 very different reasons, but neither of them are playing. All former number 1 picks.
Maybe it's bad to be a number 1 pick.
Maybe it's bad to be good coming into the league. There's a teaser for our next episode.
I could see that.
Yeah, but all right, we got to get rolling. Oh, I meant to shout this out earlier. Thank you. We had a lot of people pick up some merch over the holiday weekend. some Black Friday sales.
Yes.
Very cool to see. Appreciate you guys. And
Shout out to DNP.
Yep. Those guys are the shit. We'll have to get together with them sometime soon too.
Yeah.
Since we're Warriors fans, we can do some sort of Warriors show and just deep dive into, I don't know, James Toscano Anderson's middle school numbers and go from there. All right. Good to go.
Good here.
All right. See you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.